ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तमलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि. श्लोका 19. बहूनां जन्मनामन्ते ज्ञानवान् मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेवः सर्वमिति समहात्मा सुदुर्लभः. So, Jnani is glorified. Starting from Shloka 17, a Jnani is glorified. Bahunam janmanamante. At the end of many janmas, after many janmas, one becomes a jnani. So, to become a jnani, there has to be efforts of many janmas. Therefore, bahunam janmanam ante Vasudeva sarvam iti jnanavan. One who has the understanding Vasudeva is everything. Everything is Vasudeva. Everything is Brahman. Vasudeva vasayati bhutani iti vasuhu. The support of all beings is called Vasu. Deva means Dyotanat Devaha. He is Chaitanya in nature, therefore Devaha. So Vasudeva is a name of Brahman, Paramatma. Vasudevah sarvam iti jnanavan. One who has this kind of jnana, mam prapadyate, he attains me. Saha mahatma sudurlabhaha. Saha means a jnanavan, a jnani. He is a mahatma. He is a great man. Mahan atma yasya saha mahatma. It is the derivation of mahatma. Mahan atma yasya saha mahatma. Here, the word atma can be understood as the regular Atma, or it can be understood as mind also. Mahan Atma, his Atma is Mahan. Atma is infinite, meaning that a jnani has understood the infinite nature of his Atma. Therefore, he is a Mahatma. Since he has owned up the infinite nature of his Atma, we can say his Atma is Mahan, great. Therefore, he is Mahatma. This is one way of explaining Mahatma. Another explanation of Mahatma is Mahan Atma Manaha Yasya Saha Mahatma, whose mind is great. Because even in the process of becoming Jnani, his mind has become pure. His mind has become free from all impurities. Therefore, his mind is great. Even from that standpoint, he is a Mahatma. Such Mahatma is Sudurlabhaha, is very rare, very difficult to find. Jnani punarapi stuyate bahunam janmanam jnanartha samskararjanashayanam ante samaptau jnanavan prapta paripaka jnanaha mam vasudevam pratyagatmanam pratyakshataha. What is there in your book? Prapadyate. Katham Vasudeva sarvamiti yaha evam sarvatmanam mam pratipadyate. Pratipadyate or prapadyate? Pratipadyate. Saha Mahatma na tatsamaha अन्यः अस्ति अधिको वा अतः सुदुर्लभः मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु इत्युक्तम्. So, punarapi jnani stuyate. Once again, a jnani is praised, glorified. Bahunam janmanam ante. After many janmas, not after many complacent, useless janmas. In each janma, he has to make effort for moksha. So the janma is described. What kind of janma? Jnanartha samskararjana ashayanam janmanam. The janmas, the births which serve as the locus of accumulating samskara. Samskara means shastriya samskara, which leads to jnana. Jnanartha samskara. The samskaras which lead to jnana. Jnanartha samskara arjana ashayanam. So, the locus where one earns, one accumulates the samskaras which lead to jnana. That kind of janmas. In every janma it may not happen. In dog janma, cat janma, it might not happen. It may happen only in human janma. Only in human janma you can do the vihita karma. The vihita karma also gives some samskara which leads to jnana. And also Shavana, Vedanta Shavana ityadi, even they will accumulate some jnanartha samskara. So for many, after many such janmas, bahunam janmanam ante, ante means samaptau, at the end of many janmas, jnanavan means prapta paripaka jnanaha. Praptam paripakam, praptaha paripakaha yena tat prapta paripakam, which has attained paripaka. This is an adjective of jnana. Praptaha paripakaha yena tat prapta paripakam jnanam, which has attained paripaka. It has become ripe. Jnana has become ripe, not raw jnana. Raw jnana means he has some jnana, but it is not assimilated, it is not mature. So they know how to say something about Vedanta. Everybody talks Vedanta. It is kacha. So not paripakva. So prapta paripaka jnanaha. Prapta paripakam jnanam yasya saha prapta paripaka jnanaha. Once again, bahuvrihi samasa. So it is one bahuvrihi within another bahuvrihi. Bahuvrihi garbhita bahuvrihi samasa. So, prapta paripaka jnanaha refers to jnanavan. It is a description of jnanavan. Mam means Vasudevam, Pratyagatmanam. Vasudeva, who is Pratyagatma, who is none other than one's own self. Pratyakshatah prapadyate. Pratyakshataha, directly. Prapadyate, attains. Pratyakshataha implies that he doesn't have to wait for death. He attains Paramatma here itself. Even while being alive, he attains. Therefore, Pratyakshatah prapadyate. Unlike attainment of Swarga, attainment of Swarga is not Pratyakshataha. Only after death it is Paroksha. Therefore, the attainment also is Paroksha. Swarga is paroksha. Therefore, your going to Swarga is also paroksha. Until death, you have to just believe that you are going there. But it is not so with the Brahman. It is pratyakshataha. Now and here you can see it happening. Katham, so katham jnanavan. So katham jnanavan means what is the nature of jnana? How does he understand Brahman? So katham Vasudeva sarvamiti. Vasudeva sarvam. Everything is Vasudeva iti. See, there is a statement, Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. It is different. It is not Vasudeva kutumbakam. Some people think it is Vasudeva kutumbakam. So Vasudha means earth. Eva, Vasudha plus Eva becomes Vasudhaiva. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. It is not Vasudeva kutumbakam. So, but this is Vasudeva sarvam. Everything is Vasudeva. Everything is Brahman. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. And it includes Aham Brahmasmi also. Iti jnanavan. So, yaha evam sarvatmanam mam pratipadyate. Yaha, who, which jnani, evam, in this manner, Vasudeva sarvam iti. Sarvatmanam mam, me who is Sarvatma, me who is the Atma of everyone. Pratipadyate, understands. Saha Mahatma, he is Mahatma. And Bhashyakara explains the word Mahatma. Na tatsamaha anyaha asti. There is nobody equal to him. Adhikova, and there is nobody greater to him also. There is nobody equal to him, and there is nobody greater than him also. Tatsamaha anyaha, tatsamaha adhikaha va na asti. Ataha, therefore, sudurlabhaha, satchajnani is sudurlabhaha, is very difficult to find, very rare to find. And now Bhashyakara quotes, reminds us what Bhagavan has told previously in the same strain. Manushyanam sahasreshu ityuktam. This was told already. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidhyatati siddhaye. Yatataamapi siddhanam kaschinmam veti tattvataha. That is why it is sudurlabha. So, the reason for sudurlabhatva of such jnanis was already told before in chapter 6. 7. Okay. 7. In the same chapter. Yeah. True. Yeah. कामैस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्तेऽन्यदेवताः तं तं नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियता स्वया. Yeah. So, if jnani is great, why people do not become jnanis, or why people do not even make effort to get jnana? What is the impediment in the pursuit of jnana? Why people do not pursue jnana? Bhagavan explains, swaya prakritya niyataha. Generally, people are restrained by their prakriti. Prakriti or swabhava, referring to one's natural tendencies. And these natural tendencies are nothing but the samskara that we have accumulated. Therefore, prakriti refers to the samskara that we have accumulated in the previous janmas. Swaya prakritya niyataha, restrained by one's own prakriti, one's own swabhava. Taihi taihi kamaihi hritajnanaha, and since they are restrained by their own prakriti, the prakriti produces certain kamas, certain desires. Taihi taihi kamaihi, with the respective desires. Taihi taihi, by that kama. This cannot be translated. Taihi taihi means with the respective desires, with the various desires, by various desires. Their jnana is hrita, hritajnanaha. Hritam jnanam yesham te hritajnanaha, whose jnana, viveka, is stolen away. Their viveka is taken away, snatched away by various kamas, various desires, and therefore they are compelled to worship various other devatas. Anya devataha. Anya devataha means other devatas. Devatas other than Paramatma. There are many devatas introduced by the Shastra itself. The Shastra introduces thousands of devatas. According to some, the number is 33 crore. All these devatas are limited in nature. The devatas have limitations. They are also other jivas, like us, but they have special powers. They are limited in nature, and they are capable of giving limited desires, granting limited desires. Some devata might be able to give wealth, some devata might be able to give children, like that. They have limited power. But these people are attracted to certain desires, and in order to fulfill their desires, they worship various devatas. Instead of seeking Paramatma, who is infinite, they worship various devatas who are limited. So, tam niyamam asthaya, tam niyamam asthaya, following certain niyamas, following respective niyamas, rules, regulations, anya devataah prapadyante, they worship other devatas, they attain other devatas. So, अन्वय is स्वया प्रकृत्या नियताः तैहि तैहि कामैहि हृतज्ञानाः तं नियमम् आस्थाय, following respective rules, अन्य देवताः प्रपद्यन्ते, they attain other devatas. Worshipping the other devatas will give some limited result while being alive, and at the maximum, at the after death, one can become that devata. One can attain the status of that devata. So that is the maximum result you can expect by the worship of such devatas. And that is what Bhagavan says, prapadyante, anya devataah prapadyante. They attain other devatas. They become devatas after death.
Is this referring to Sarupya?
It can be Sarupya or Sayujya also. It can be any four. So, Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya and Sayujya. It can be all four. Even Sayujya is a prapatti, attaining some devata. So, at the maximum, it can become Sayujya. Sayujya is the maximum, but there is so many other grades. Devata Sayujya is possible. So, but there is a difference between the Sayujya that we talk about as a secondary moksha. That is different. That we will discuss in chapter 8. See, even when you worship Saguna Brahma Upasana, even in Saguna Brahma Upasana, you can get Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sayujya, the 4 types of moksha when you go to Brahmaloka. And then after that one can get Krama Mukti. So that is another thing. That happens when you meditate on Saguna Brahma. But here it is not Saguna Brahma as such. It is Anya Devataha. Saguna Brahma is not Anya Devata. Saguna Brahma is Ishvara only. We are worshipping Ishvara with some guna. That will lead you to Krama Mukti. But here Bhagavan is not talking about Saguna Brahma. He is talking about Devatas who are limited in nature. Saguna Brahma is not limited in nature. You are worshipping him as limitless only. But now he is talking about Devatas who are limited in nature. And they are capable of giving only limited result. See, now here we should understand that irrespective of which form you worship, what is your attitude? If you look upon the Devata as a limited being capable of giving limited result, then that Devata becomes Anya Devata. Because you are not worshipping him as infinite. You are worshipping him as limited and capable of giving limited result. Then your meditation, your upasana becomes Anya Devata upasana. You might be worshipping Vishnu or Shiva, anybody. Any form you may worship. But what is your attitude? What is your understanding when you are worshipping? If you look upon the Devata as limited and capable of giving only limited result, then that worship is Anya Devata upasana. Because you are not worshipping him as Paramatma. He is limited, one God, one limited deity with the limited capacity. That is what the astrologers also will say sometimes. If you want parihara for this problem, worship this God, worship this Ganesha, this Shiva. They are all parichinna. For an ordinary person, they are all parichinna devatas. But then the same deity, the same murti, one can worship as Paramatma also. If one understands it is this particular deity, this particular murti is just a manifestation of the infinite Paramatma. With that understanding, if you worship any form, then it is not Parichinna Devata Upasana. Then it is Paramatma Upasana. So, Anya Devata Upasanam, whether your Upasanam becomes Anya Devata Upasanam or Paramatma Upasanam depends on your attitude. So, Anya Devataha Prapadyante. See, Atmaiva Sarvam Vasudevaha Ityevam Apratipattau Karanamuchyate. Yeah. Atmaiva sarvam. Everything. Sarvam. Sarvam is also fine. Sarvaha is also okay. Sarvaha. What is your reading? Sarvam. Sarvam or Sarvaha. Both are okay. So, Sarvam Atma eva. Everything is Atma only. And it is Vasudeva. Ityevam apratipattau. Apratipattau. Not getting such understanding. For not getting such understanding, Karanam uchyate. The reason is being told. What prevents one from understanding so? Kamaihi taistaihi putra pashu स्वर्गादि विषयैः हृतज्ञानाः अपहृत विवेक विज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः प्राप्नुवन्ति वासुदेवात् आत्मनः अन्या देवताः तं तं नियमं देवताराधने प्रसिद्धः यः यः नियमः तं तं आस्थाय आश्रित्य प्रकृत्या स्वभावेन जन्मान्तरार्जित संस्कार विशेषेण नियताः नियमिताः स्वया आत्मीयया कामैहि तैहि तैहि. So, by respective kamas, desires. So here kama does not mean desire. I explained in the Moola as desire, but Bhashyakara does not take kama as a desire. He takes kama as objects of desire. Kama can be both desire and object of desire. If it is bhava vyutpatti, it is desire. If it is karma vyutpatti, it is object of desire. Bhashyakara takes it as object of desire. Kamyate iti kamaha. That is why he says putra pashu swargadi vishayaihi. So kama is vishaya, object. What are the object? Putra pashu swarga adi. Putra, son, pashu, cattle, swarga, adi, etc. These are the vishayas, objects. They are called kama because people desire them and they pull their viveka away, take the viveka away. Hritajnanaha means apahrita viveka vijnanaha. Their viveka vijnana is apahrita, robbed of. That means they are lacking in viveka because of various desires. The desires are stronger than their viveka. Desires overpower the viveka. And why they get such desires? The reason for desires is prakritya niyata swaya. They are restrained by their prakriti, their swabhava, their samskara. There are strong samskaras, and the strong samskaras produce strong desires. So, prapadyante anyadevataha. Prapadyante is equal to prapnuvanti, they attain. Anyadevataha. Bhashyakara explains anyadevataha. Vasudevat atmanaha anyaha devataha. The devatas who are different from Vasudeva, who is nothing other than Atma, who is other than Paramatma. The devatas other than Paramatma means the devatas are limited in nature and they are outside oneself also, not me, a different being. So, tam niyamam, and to attain the particular devata, they have to follow particular niyama. Tam niyamam asthaya. So, tam niyamam, Bhashyakara explains, devataradhane prasiddha yaha niyamaha. There are specific niyamas, specific rules and regulations that should be followed for worshipping certain devata. For every devata, there are certain niyamas. Like, for example, somebody is doing Narasimha Upasana, he has to wear blue dress. So, somebody came wearing blue dress, always blue dress. Why? Because he is doing Narasimha Upasana. So, there are rules for every devata, worshipping every devata. So, yaha niyamaha devataradhane prasiddha. It is prasiddha, shastra prasiddha. It is well known in the shastra, properly known in the shastra, certain rules. Tam niyamam asthaya, following all such rules. Whatever rule is told in the shastra for the worship of a particular devata, following all such rules. Asthaya means ashritya, taking recourse to, following such rules. Prakritya is equal to swabhavena, by one's swabhava. What is swabhava? Janmantararjita samskara visheshena. Because of the specific samskara, the specific type of samskara makes him follow a particular type of sadhana. So, samskara vishesha. And when was this samskara vishesha accumulated? Janmantararjita. It was accumulated in some previous janma. Niyataha, niyamitaha, restrained, compelled. Swaya, atmiyaya. one's own prakriti. Swaya should be connected with prakritya. So they are driven by their own prakriti, restrained by their own prakriti. Therefore, they are pulled by various sense objects, and their viveka is overpowered by the attraction to the sense objects. And then, because of that, for fulfilling their desires, they worship various devatas. यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः
यो यो यां तनुं भक्तः
श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति
श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति
तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां
तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां
तामेव विदधाम्यहम्.
तामेव विदधाम्यहम्.
So, Bhagavan says that he does not change the minds of the people who worship various devatas. Bhagavan does not say worshipping various devatas is haram or blasphemy. He doesn't say that. He says if they worship other devatas, he doesn't say it is wrong. It's okay to do so. Let them do so. Nothing wrong. But what is the problem? They will not get moksha. That's all. As long as they keep worshipping other parichinna devatas, they are not going to get moksha. So, yaha, any individual, any person, whosoever, yaha is doubled. The doubling is in the sense of vipsa, to cover everyone. Yaha, whoever, whosoever, yam tanum, yaha bhaktaha, whichever bhakta, yam tanum, here we can supply yaya shraddhaya yuktaha, yaha bhaktaha, yaya shraddhaya yuktaha, endowed with which shraddha, yam tanum, whichever tanu means form, devata rupa, form of devata, architumichhati, wants to worship, tasya bhaktasya, for that respective bhakta, for each such bhakta, tam eva shraddham, tam eva achalam shraddham, the same shraddha, which is achala, which is unshakable. Aham vidadhami, I make steady. Aham vidadhami, I grant the same Shraddha. Achalam vidadhami, I make it steady. Achalam should be connected with vidadhami. I make it steady. Vidadhami means karomi. Achalam vidadhami, I make it steady. The same Shraddha, Bhagavan makes it steady. So, if a bhakta is worshipping a particular devata, wants to worship a particular devata with a particular type of Shraddha, so this devata is such very powerful and he can give me this kind of siddhi, that may be his Shraddha. This devata is very powerful, so he can solve my problem. Somebody might have that Shraddha, and with that Shraddha he may start worshipping that devata, and then Bhagavan blesses him. Let him have steady Shraddha in that particular devata, and his Shraddha becomes more steady. Then he continues to worship the same devata lifelong, and he may go to a particular loka after death as a result of worshipping that devata. So, teshancha kaminam yaha yaha kami yam yam devatatanum. Here yaya shraddhaya sanyuktaha. Shraddhaya sanyuktaha is there in the moola. We can supply a yaya. Yaya shraddhaya sanyuktaha bhaktascha san architum pujayitum ichhati tasya kaminah achalam shraddham sthiram shraddham tameva vidadhami स्थिरीकरोमि यया एवं पूर्वं प्रवृत्तः. तेषांच कामिनां, such kamis, those kamis. Kami means people who have kama, desires. Yaha yaha kami, whichever kami, any kami. Yam yam devata tanum, whichever devata tanu, whichever form of devata. Shraddhaya sanyuktaha, endowed with the Shraddha. Bhaktascha san, being bhakta, he has Shraddha and bhakti. Initially he starts with some Shraddha and some bhakti, little Shraddha and a little bhakti. Architum means pujayitum, to worship. Ichhati, desires, he wants to worship, He intends to worship a particular devata. And when that intention arises, then itself Bhagavan blesses him. Let him have steady Shraddha towards this devata. Tasya tasya kaminah. For that respective kami, his Shraddha, tameva Shraddham, the same Shraddha. What is that same Shraddha? Yaya evam purvam pravrittaha, because of which Shraddha, purvam, previously, evam pravrittaha, he was engaged in the particular devata. Pravrittaha, he started engaging himself in the particular devata. So, yaya shraddhaya evam purvam pravrittaha, by which shraddha he initially started. Started means desired. I want to worship. That is purva pravritti. So, purvam pravrittaha means architum ishtavan, purvam. Initially, he desired to worship that devata, by which shraddha, tameva shraddham, the same shraddha, achalam vidhasyami, I make it achala. Achala means sthiram, sthira, steady. So, achalam vidhasyami is equal to sthiri karomi. I make it steady, unshakable. So, then by Bhagavan's grace, he gets steady Shraddha, unshakable Shraddha towards that particular devata. Then what happens? Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktaha, Tasyaradhanamihate, Labhate cha tatah kaman, Mayaiva vihitan hitan. Saha kami, that kami, taya shraddhaya yuktaha, endowed with that shraddha, the shraddha which is granted by Paramatma. Tasyaha devatayaha radhanam ihate. Tasyaha devatayaha radhanam means aradhanam. Radhanam means aradhanam, worship. Ihate, performs. He performs the worship of the particular devata. Then tataha, because of that devata, from that devata, maya eva vihitan, tan kaman labhate hi. Maya eva vihitan kaman, tan kaman, the respective kamas. Kama refers to phala, the desired result. Mayaiva vihitan, granted by me alone. So tataha maya eva vihitan tan kaman labhate hi. So what Bhagavan is saying now, see, in the previous shloka he said, the person gets a shraddha because of me only. Even the shraddha to worship a particular devata is because of blessing of Bhagavan only. And the phala of the particular devata worship, the phala of the worship of the particular devata is also from Paramatma only. Therefore, essentially, even that devata is nothing but Paramatma. Essentially. But the person doesn't know that. Therefore, since he does not know that the devata is essentially Paramatma, he just holds on to one limited form of the devata. So, swabhavataha yaha yam devata tanum shraddhaya architum ichchati saha taya madvihitaya shraddhaya yuktah san tasyaha devata tanvaha radhanam आराधनम ईहते चेष्टते लभते च ततः तस्याः आराधितायाः देवता तन्वाः कामान् ईप्सितान् मया एव परमेश्वरेण सर्वज्ञेन कर्मफलविभागज्ञतया विहितान् कर्मफलविभागज्ञतया विहितान् निर्मितान् तान् हि यस्मात् ते भगवता विहिताः कामाः तस्मात् तान् अवश्यं लभते इत्यर्थः। हितान् इति पदच्छेदे हितत्वं कामानां उपचरितं कल्प्यं नहि कामाः हिताः कस्यचित्। So swabhavatah, because of one's swabhava, because of one's samskara, yaha bhaktah yam devata tanum. So yam devata tanum, which devata tanu, which form of devata, shraddhaya architum ichchati, wants to worship with the shraddha, saha, that kami, that bhakta, taya taya shraddhaya. Taya shraddhaya. Taya means madvihitaya, the shraddha which is granted by me. Yuktaha san, endowed with that shraddha, being associated with that shraddha. Tasyaha devata tanvaha, of that devata tanu, of that devata form. Radhanam, equal to aradhanam, worship. Ihate means cheshtate, karoti ityartha, does, performs. Labhate cha tataha, tataha, tataha means tasyaha aradhitayaha devata tanvaha, from the devata form which was worshipped. Kaman means ipsitan, the desired result, the results that are intended to be attained. Mayaiva vihitan. Mayaiva means parameshwarena sarvajnena. Vihitan. Vihitan means nirmitan, created by Parameshwara alone. The objects of desire, the phala, is created by, produced by Parameshwara alone. And why Parameshwara alone can produce the phala? Why not the particular devata? Because the particular devata is not sarvajna. Since the particular devata is not sarvajna, the particular devata cannot know what phala should be produced for which karma. The devata doesn't know. The devata is alpajna, jiva. Therefore, why Paramatma produces it? Bhashyakara gives the hetu. Karma phala vibhagajnataya. Since Paramatma is the knower of the vibhaga, the division, the allocation of karma phala, who has done which karma, and what should be the phala, when he should get the phala, everything is known only by Paramatma. Because Paramatma alone is sarvajna. Vihitan, nirmitan, tan, kaman, labhate. He attains. Then hitan is there at the end. Mayaiva vihitan hitan. So we can break it in two ways. One is he and tan are separate. If you take he as separate, then how to connect the he? Bhashyakara explains. He means yasmat, since, because. And how to connect this yasmat? Yasmat te bhagavata vihitaha kamaha. Since the kamas are given by Bhagavan himself, tasmat tan avashyam labhate ityarthaha. Therefore he attains them definitely. Avashyam labhate ityarthaha. This is the idea conveyed by the he. Then, if it is hitan, hitan iti padachede, if we break as hitan, padacheda, if the padacheda is done, while padacheda is done, if hitan is taken together, then the kama, hitan becomes an adjective of kama. Hitan kaman, the kama which are hita, the kamas which are good, beneficial. So if hitan is the padacheda, then Bhashyakara says hitatvam kamanam upacharitam kalpyam. Then we should understand that the kama are mentioned as hita. This is just upacharita. They are mentioned as hita only in a secondary sense. Upacharita, just upachara. It is told in a secondary sense, not in the primary sense. For example, if somebody says something, I want to do this, then what will you say? Good, do it. You, in the heart of heart, you don't want him to do it. You know it's not good. But you may not be able to say it is not good, don't go, don't do it. So good, do it. So it is upacharita hita. For upachara, you may have to say good sometimes. So hitatvam kamanam upacharitam kalpyam. The hitatva of the kama, which is mentioned as hitan, should be understood in a secondary sense. That means Bhagavan is not really meaning that kamas are hita. Vai nahi kamaha hitaha kasyachit. For nobody, kama is hita. Kama is not good. Kamas are not beneficial to anybody. They create problem. They create samskara. Therefore, in real sense, kamas are not hita. But in the world, the people consider kama as hita. In that sense, Bhagavan has used hita. From the standpoint of the ordinary people in the world. So not from the standpoint of the Vedanta itself. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.